Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is Jersey, and today we are bringing you the lighthouse that we did during the Soho collab stream. I just had such a wonderful time. It was just a great pleasure to meet Soho, speak with her, hang out, see her island, just get to know her, and just having an awesome time in the scavenger hunt that we did. And guys, that particular stream is linked in the description. You gotta watch it, you gotta go, you gotta see it, see what she has done, see just a little bit of the island tour that we did. I'm planning to go back. I'm gonna get with Soho so we can do a proper island tour, but for now this is exciting because we're bringing the lighthouse build that we did in my island. We're bringing it here and we're gonna tweak it, we're gonna change it to the way that Soho is envisioning in her mind, because she wants to create something special, something that will work really well on her island. So like always, when we're building a lighthouse, my take is the lower to the ground that we can make it and the skinnier we can make it, the more of the effect we're gonna create. And I think that's always important, right? So the beginning is very, it's not too hard. It's the same thing that we're doing. We're bringing it, the first 4 squares in the middle, we're bringing it to the highest level in Dinkum that we can, right? So it should be about 11 high, and then we're gonna do 2 squares on each of the other side, and that is going to be for the lights, right? And we're gonna make it 1 level lower because it's gonna give us that height that we need for the lights, so they can hit kind of in the middle of the silo, because the silo is what's gonna pretend to be the lighthouse, right? And then with the light posts and all of that, it's gonna create that brightness, especially at night. And don't forget guys, this build is meant to be a perspective build. It's to create the illusion that we have a lighthouse. But yeah, but this was just an exciting build. And then at the same time, I forgot, it wasn't just Soho, we also had Nisi. And Nisi, you were great. We could chat with you. I know you were a little shy according to Soho, but you were such a great team player. You were bringing the materials that we were needing as we were building. It was just amazing, and it was just great that you were part of it, that you were there, and we just completely, it was just such a fun time, and I just super excited to be part of it. And yeah, okay, so here we are. So we put the silo. So we're doing the first initial test run, and this is always important when you're building your lighthouse. Don't forget, go back, see where you really want this perspective to look from. So I know Soho, she wanted it to be from this particular dock, to be viewing on this little island that we had over there, that's where the lighthouse is gonna be. So my job was to make sure that when you stand right there, you see the lighthouse, right? That you can see the proportion, that it makes the effect. And by doing the test, we have it. So okay, so we have the distance, we got what we needed. So right here, I'm gonna show you a couple of things. This is an inspiration from my first island tour that I did. It's from Leanne. So I've gone back to Leanne's islands a couple of times, you know, and she has done amazing new builds in her island. And one of them was adding the animal den as windows for the lighthouse, and I thought that was a brilliant idea. And I'm working on another lighthouse, and I'm bringing a little bit of that design here. But the thing was that for this particular build, that lighthouse was made all of brick, and it can make the animal den really blend in very well. But we went ahead and went with marbles. Soho, she was excited to try the marble to see if we can bring this lighthouse in the marble form to bring that white, and she liked the contrast that we have between the silo on the top and the light post and the marble on the bottom. And guys, it really worked. At the very end, it really worked out, especially at night. It brings it up even brighter in the area. So that was very exciting, very cool to see, very cool to have an experience. So we ended up enjoying it. So now we were trying to recreate and see how we're gonna make this opening to make the doorway, right? We want to make to feel like you can walk into the lighthouse. So in this section right here, you're gonna see that we're gonna go to different iterations and different versions of. We're gonna use brick, then we're gonna use cement. We're gonna end up using marble too. But at the very end, we have Rips Gaming. He was actually in the chat as well, and he recommended to use the cobblestone, and that was awesome idea because the cobblestone in one section, when you go at this high, it gives you that little gray line that makes it feel like you're opening a door. Soho liked the view of that perspective, and that's what we ended up using. We ended up using the cobblestone that, as when you put it, and once we get to that point of the video, you're gonna see it. It looks like there's a door there. And that's the thing, when it comes to the lighthouse, you know, and the build, and depending what you want to build, the main structure of the lighthouse is very straightforward, right? Is bring it tall, put the silo, you put the lights around it, and don't forget, you can use any lights. I've seen already takes, different takes on the lighthouse build that have been amazing. They're making it really wide, they're making it really big, they're making it like you got livable spaces inside the lighthouse. So it's very cool to see how the idea of the lighthouse has evolved with different people, with different islands. The concept is still the same. Silo on the top right now is the best tool that we have, the best item that we have to recreate a lighthouse, and then making the light very bright right in the middle of the lighthouse, and then people are doing their own takes around the lighthouse. And I thought that was super brilliant. It's just how people are taking in the lighthouse build and making them their own, because that's always the goal. My goal is always for you guys to get the inspiration, so you guys tweak the builds to make it your own if you need to as you're building them. So it's great to see that. So Soho, she had her own inspiration. She wanted things to work in a certain way. So here we are, we're testing it out. So we made a lot of this marble at the same time, but she was not loving it. She was not loving the brick. She was not loving all this extra marble coming up. And so what's gonna end up happening is, like I always say in every video, try and error. Don't feel afraid to take things down, to try it out. You know, you may be spending time, you may have spent 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, an hour, but work until you are happy. So my job when I'm visiting people, when I'm visiting and when I'm collabing, is to make what their vision is a reality as much as I can. So I'm trying to work and make Soho's vision possible, and it's so fun to do that. You know, I already had experience like that in Rip's collab stream when we build a waterfall. So now we're doing a lighthouse here, and it's just such a fun experience because it's always different to work that way, especially for me, because I usually have a plan, I have an idea, I have my concerns and what I need, but hearing another creator, another voice, what they want, what they're envisioning. So it was such a great thing. So one of Soho's amazing ideas that I was like so excited about is she wanted a livable house where the lighthouse keeper lives. And that makes so much sense. There's a lot of lighthouses out there that they have a little house right next to them, in front of them, on the side, on the back. And that's where the lighthouse keeper lives. And it was brilliant, and I loved it. So Soho was taking care of where she wanted to place the house, where it was gonna be, and I'm still working with Soho, and there she is. She's approving the design, and this is when we put the black cobblestone, and you see how that line in one side makes it feel like it's a door. So we're trying to create that illusion. And then Nisi came and she dropped all these pillars because their vision called for pillars to put on the side, to try to hide a little bit on the side right here and to make this feel like an entrance. So that was a very cool idea, you know, using the pillars instead of raising like I did a little bit before, and just raising the dirt and then putting marble. Their idea was to use the marble pillars, and that's great, and that's so unique, so different. And this is why I love seeing you guys, seeing another creator, seeing how you guys think, what is your taste, how you are approaching all these situations that are so fun to see from other people. Okay, so now the next part, you know, as Soho is going to continue working, they were building a dock on the other side, and they're placing they're trying to get the measurements and how they wanted to place the house and all that, and they're talking on the background. So guys, if you want to hear great fun and conversation and all that, don't forget, link in the description to the stream that I was part of is fun, guys. You guys are gonna have a great time. There's great dialogue. There's just talking about the game, talking about future of the game on Dinkum. So go over there, check it out, check her stuff, subscribe if you like what you see, because Soho is amazing. Especially, guys, you need to see that maybe first half hour to an hour of that stream, because you guys are gonna be blown away of what Soho has built in her island. But okay, so here we are. So now I'm working on rock formation, and rock formation, I will say, it is tricky. You know, there's not a right way and a wrong way. Always remember that, because it's gonna be to your taste. So I am more picky. I wanted to make the rock formation always feel livable, like it's real nature. It's just a form. There's not just like the same pattern all the time. So it's always tricky when you work with rock formation, and the more that I'm working on it, it doesn't become easier, because depending on the situation, the level, the height, what you have around it, what are you trying to hide, is that what makes it challenging. So as you see here, I'm trying already different things. First, it was looking too structured, too straight, all in the same level. So what I'm gonna start doing is try to work with different height variations now. So we're gonna go high, we're gonna go low. Some of them we're gonna go a little bit deeper and bury them, and then trying to make it curve, try to make a little bit more sideways. And that's the best thing that I can tell you when you work on rock formation, is trial and error, and not to give up. Don't give up, have fun with it. And if you need to take a break, and this is something I say a lot in my videos now, take a break from the build if you need to. Don't get to a point that you're upset, that you're frustrated, because then you're gonna try to force something that is not gonna come forced. Take a break, take a moment, take a breather, go get yourself a cup of coffee, and then do something else in the game, or go relax somewhere else, and then come back and then keep trying it. You know, because if you have a clear mind, you're gonna be able to enjoy the process, because I want this process to be fun, not to be just a chore for you to do. I want it to be fun, you know, and I enjoy this. You know, if you watch the live stream and all that, I love working on rock formation. I like to create and make and get it to that point when you look at you like, wow, this looks realistic, this looks good, I like the different spacing and all that. So one thing that I'm learning a lot, especially around the lighthouse, so this is the second rock formation that I'm building in a lighthouse. I built my lighthouse, then when the update came out, I did a video talking about rock formation, how cool it is with the new tools and all of that. But it is tricky. It is tricky. Even in my video, I talked about it, how difficult, and maybe at some points I did want to give up. So now that this is my second take doing it around a lighthouse again, I'm figuring out that it's good to have open spaces with water, just leaving a little bit of a gap sometimes in between different places, make some places very cluster heavy, and then break it up, and then raise it just a little bit and work with a high level variation. And then in some places bury the rock, and then depending how big you want to go, right, you can go really big with rock formation, you can raise them up really high, or you can keep it a little lower. So on this one, they're a little more shallow, because we do have land here, because we're gonna have a house, we got a little boat dock, and then you guys gotta see the ideas that we slowly evolve and what we have very soon in this, around this corner that I'm working on. And it was just amazing. And at first it started as a little joke, but we all three of us, Nisi, Soho, and I, ended up loving the idea, and we just ran with it, and it was so fun to do. So guys, it's fun. It's truly, it is fun to build, to create, to come up with idea, and then some of the best ideas come up on the fly as you're building. Because always, when you're always building and creating and just working on something, new ideas are gonna pop, new ideas are gonna just come to fruition, and you're gonna be like, let me try this. And then sometimes those ideas are so good and they work so well, because something that you could not envision before, because you you could not see it, because as you're building, then you can see more and what the build needs, and then those ideas start evolving, and it's just complete fun. So the other thing that I was trying to do in this build right here when it comes to rock formation is work with the sand at the same time and the rocks, you know. So as you see, so I'm trying to sometimes leaving a little bit of sand and raise the rocks, so like I did in the middle here. So the middle, it feels like everything is climbing up into the middle to that point, but then it comes down. And then on the corners, what I did is the corner have the big cluster of rocks, and then everything starts breaking from the corner outwards. And I like this take. I feel like this take is a lot better than my previous, even in my own video. I do feel like the way I did this cluster of rocks and then the breaking and just breaking away from it and having the water in there, I think it just worked out really great. And you see back there you can see Soho and Nisi, they're hard at work building their dock over there. So if you want to see that point of view, don't forget the stream, link in the description. You guys are gonna have a real fun time watching them. But okay, so I'm gonna continue working over here, and so as you can see, I'm gonna be breaking rocks, putting the rocks back up, breaking them again, adding them again, because sometimes you need to see it. So don't be afraid to put a rock down completely just to see how it looks, and then you're gonna break it down so you can then put it in another spot, and then you don't like it, and then you're gonna bring it back. So like I said, don't be afraid to just place a rock, break it down, put another rock, break it down, and so you can see it in different level. Maybe you want to see how it looks too high, one low. Maybe you want to see how it looks one deep level buried, because it will give you a whole different perspective. So slowly we getting this ready, right? So we got one side over here where we got the house, and then we got now the back is getting in shape, it's looking better. But now I'm slowly getting more water into the other side because we need a little more rock formation. And as you can see, Soho is back here, she's with me, because as I'm building, I'm asking Soho, okay, is this part of your vision? And this is what you see? Because like I say, I'm here collabing with Soho, trying to build something that she has in her mind. And like I said, it's a fun challenge. It's unique, it's different, the experience is awesome to try to, you know, and even though they give me the freedom to build what I want, I really want to make them happy. I really want, when I come to do a collab, is to make that island, their vision, a reality, and just to work together. And it's truly a fun experience. So if you guys haven't tried multiplayer, and just find in between Discord and different people, maybe people in chat, and then slowly find that community, those people that will play with you, that will work with you, because it's fun, you know, and they will have ideas, and yet they bring those ideas, and it's just a fun experience, and it truly is. So okay, so here we are. So now we're making this cluster right here. So this cluster is looking good, but it was too much of the same. So here we are, we're breaking a rock over here, breaking this one over here, trying to bring different height variation, leaving a pocket over here. And then in the future, as we continue building the Soho and Nisi, they start bringing the plants right here. There they are, they're adding the light source. And when they added that, oh, the build started coming to life. It added this touch of light in the bottom. Like in my lighthouse, I do have that, but I did it with the same light post that I put on the top. They brought the new lamp, the stone ones, and I think they worked out great. They look great, they feel great. It's going with the vibe that they want, and it's just really good. And then some of the stones, they kind of hide a little bit of some of the areas that are a little hard, that you can see a lot of the sand. So it's good to put those stones there, and then they put some more, a little more buried under the water, some of them a little higher, so the light source is even in different level, but you see that glow and hitting the lighthouse in the bottom. It's just such a nice touch. They just do amazing work. And as you can see, they're already adding greenery slowly. They're planting in between the rock, they're planting in between the water. They're finding places that they are envisioning where, like grass, to try to imitate the seaweed and stuff like that, that you see that green in between the rocks in real life. So that's their job. So I'm concentrating on the rocks, and they are gonna keep going with their vision to add the greenery that this place needs. So here we are. So now I'm still working over here, just trying to bring a little more rocks, just a little bit more artworks, right? Just to try to make it feel that realistic of it. So here we were talking about maybe creating a bug crash, right? And I was like, see, and we can put this here, and then we can hide some of these corners if we leave them there. Soho was liking the idea, and the next thing I know, Nisi comes and bam, she drops the new big sailboat. And we were all laughing. We're like, whoa, it looks too big. It looks like this thing really just crashed into the lighthouse, right? But guess what happened? As we started to look at it in different angles, and we ended up loving it. And then we came up with the idea, what if this did really crash into the lighthouse? How funny will that be? We all agree, we all loved it. Soho liked it so much, we're gonna keep it part of her vision. So now we gotta build this other rock formation around the boat, like it feels like it just really rammed into the boat. Leave some spaces of water, work around with the sand so it looks like there's this opening and the boat just went there and it just crashed. Now we got the little boat, we got the big boat, and we just keep working at it. And it was just fantastic. So when we get to the end of the video, it looks so good. It's different, it's unique, it's just amazing. I just love the idea. And then they did a little couple more details that we're gonna talk about it very soon. But as I'm doing here, now I felt like I didn't have enough space between the sand and the water. I wanted to have a little more opening. So as you see, I'm just taking a little more out, just putting a little more opening, a little more water, and then just adding a few rocks. And as you can see, as you see those rocks, it kind of fills up a little bit, like, so because one of the point of the lighthouse is because, hey, it's danger, be careful right here, there's just a lot of rocks over here, we don't want your boats to crash. But this boat, something happened to the captain and he just crashed into it. So we don't know, we will have to wait for Soho's backstory on this, what happened, because yeah, somebody crashed. Okay, so I'm trying to make another little rock formation right here on the front, a little taller, a little that it looks a little rougher, and that way we can create this little opening that we have on the side here, it's just, you have that opening, and that's the opening that he took. He could have crashed right here or crashed on the other side, but no, he kind of went in and just crushed it right through there. But yeah, but at the same time, here we are again making another rock formation. And like I keep saying, the main trick that I'm being able to find when it comes to the rock formation is truly high variation. Work at it, go back and forth, make a curve, leave some space, maybe leave a little gap, and it's just not feeling everything with rocks. And it's really hard to explain, right? It truly is, because at the end, and I truly believe it, there's not a wrong way and a right way. You guys may like everything uniform, you guys may like more of a big cluster, so it's just more my preference, and I try to explain it the best way that I can. So if you guys truly like what you see and try to replicate it, I want you guys to understand my thought process behind it. And I know it truly is a little hard to explain when it comes to rock formation, because it's truly, at the end, it's a lot of feeling. But look at that view. That view was excellent. Then we look at from over here. I just love how it looks. The boat looks big. It looks great to the lighthouse. It just fits perfectly. And the rock formation, as you see between the houses, and then you see the ocean behind it, it's just such a pretty view. It just works so great. Here I saw that they added this ramp, that it makes sense. You have this little sand ramp. So what we did, we put a little boat right there to hide that little harsh corner. Soho loved it, we left it, and it's just great. So as we were doing this, Soho mentioned during the stream, hey, should we put rocks around the house? I'm like, yes, I was planning on that. Let's go ahead and do it, because we want this to feel like it's just all rocky. Getting from the back, you know, the side and the back, it's like the ocean, and then it turns to rock as it's getting into the sand, as we're climbing up to the sand. So yeah, I definitely wanted to add rocks over here, and then I wanted to add a little more in the depth, so it feels like there's this just rock formation right underneath it, right here in this section, and just to bring a little more visuality, more to this area, and it just fills it up. And I loved it. I love how slowly everything was coming out, and as you can see, I'm still trying to leave gaps in between them, filling up over here, just finding that right combination of everything. I didn't like how on the top ones everything was just looking the same, like all this just rock in the same scenario, same spot. So what you see, I'm just trying to break and find a way so I can make it a little more curvy. I feel like when I make the rocks curve a little, or they go a little bit sideways instead of just being uniform completely, I think that's when I feel like I got something, like everything is feeling a little right. So here's the same thing. There's one a little tall, working a little bit around. You see how that just kind of curves around a little bit, and then we just working, and then we start breaking, and it's just playing with it. And again, that's the best advice I can give you. You gotta play with the rocks, the formation, and it can take time. And that's why I don't want you to get frustrated. I don't want you to give up. I want you to take breaks. Breaks are important when you're building in anything, not just in rocks, but when you're building something, when you're trying to come up with a design, an idea. You know, it's better to take a break, come back when you feel a little more relaxed, a little more good, and then you come back and start building again and start testing things. Because a lot of times, you know, we have to do a lot of testing when it comes to builds. And you have the idea in your mind and you're trying to put it in the build, but sometimes it doesn't come out as quickly as we want, and we want it to come out quick. So here is another great thing. Here Soho started adding all these barrels in the water and crates, and guys, that just makes it look even better, because if this thing crashing there, the cargo kind of fell on the water, it looks so good. And it just and then she put a keg so we can kind of have a different view, a little one sideways, and it was just great. So here I'm climbing up because I wanted to get this point of view, and look at this rock formation. Look how everything looks. Look at the boat. Soho came and she checked it out, and it was just amazing. And then here is when I got to the point. I came here to build this, to work on the rock formation, just to make Soho's, was her vision, a reality, and it was fantastic. And now it's Soho and Nisi, they're just gonna work at it to decorate everything that we see here, everything that's left. And I can't wait to see her video when she has it all done, and then she's walking on it, to see how beautiful she made it. But this was my part, this was my contribution, and it was just amazing. And it just was such a fun experience working with Soho. I can't just say it enough. Guys, go to her channel, check it out, check the live stream. You guys will have so much fun, especially that first part of the live stream. But this is it. This is the end of the video. This is the end of my portion of my build of the lighthouse that we built in Soho. So guys, thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to hit a like, subscribe if you want to see more videos, and we'll see you next time. Alright guys, see you later. Bye.